BNP Paribas, partenaire des plus belles histoires de Roland-Garros, aux côtés des ramasseurs de balles depuis plus de 50 ans.
Coco, into your fifth quarterfinal here at Roland-Garros. How does it feel?
Yeah, it feels great to be back in the quarters here, and really happy with how I played today, and hopefully can keep going.
Hey Coco, great match, well played. I wanted to ask you not about the match, but about that moment you had with Venus and Sloane,
Yeah.
like 3 generations of Black American players. How significant does it feel to kind of be surrounded by them still and to feel their kind of kind words and them urging you on?
Yeah, it feels surreal, and Venus is someone I looked up to for a long time, and Sloane too. I remember hitting with Sloane when I was maybe like 8 years old, and I had a birthday party, maybe I think it was like maybe 10th or 11th, one of those birthdays, and she surprised and showed up, and I felt like the coolest kid ever having her come. So just to be alongside the two of them is very cool, and to have that moment was not something I was expecting, but very honored that they were both enthusiastic for me to be there, and obviously I was just probably more excited too.
Coco, well done today. Just wanted for you, thinking kind of about Fonseca, he's now trying to make that step up. I just wondered what you found were kind of the biggest challenges or differences about playing the top players, things they did differently and things that you then had to do to kind of bridge the gap a little bit.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is just experience, and sometimes you may feel like a better player than them, but maybe I think what makes a difference is like they know what to do in those tough moments. And obviously with him, he's so talented and doing so great, and it all will come with experience and time. And obviously guys is a little bit different, but just physicality wise, and the fact that at 18 he's making third round of slams and doing the things that he's done, especially being on the male side of things, where I think it's a little bit bigger of a physicality gap between 18 and 23 than on the women. So I'm very excited to see where he'll be in a few years. And I guess just knowing sometimes you want the results like right now, and you don't realize like how much you can improve in those years. So I'm sure that other people around him make him aware of that.
Is there any shortcut, or is it just experience?
I mean, obviously the shortcut is being talented, like just naturally talented. That would be the shortcut, which he already kind of has that shortcut. So I guess when it comes to, those later moments, making quarters, semis, and finals of big tournaments, for sure, I think is more so an experience thing too.
Well done, Coco.
Thanks.
How do you compare this run to the quarterfinals to other years when you've gotten this far in this tournament, and sort of, I guess, 22, last year, obviously, 22, my memory doesn't go back.
Yeah, me
that
too,
yours probably
to be honest. Same.
So like, but if you could talk through, I mean, I'm sure you remember 22, and I'm sure you remember last year, so how you're feeling and what's different and what's gotten better or worse or more confusing.
Yeah, I think they feel very similar. I think I'm less nervous going into matches for sure, and knowing just the ups and downs of tennis and of a tennis match. But they feel kind of similar. I felt like I'm still feel like the years here, I feel like I get better with each match, and I felt like that was something that I did in 22 and last year as well, and something I'm doing here right now. So yeah, I think if I can keep just making those details a little bit better, hopefully I can do even better than I did last year.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask about the weather here. It's very up and down. I mean, Friday it was 29. Today it was a bit chilly, cloudy. I saw you put your leather jacket on at the end. Is that something difficult to deal with, or is it something you just blank out?
Yes and no. I think like the first day here was honestly, I think the worst I felt on the court since the clay season. Just so windy, cold, the ball wasn't going anywhere. And then obviously the week has gone on, it's been hot, and today was cooler. So just flirting with tension, and honestly, it feels like a different tournament sometimes depending on the weather. So, but it's something you expect here, playing this tournament in these conditions. So yeah, I think just taking it day by day, and you know, the more experience I get playing here, the more you kind of feel like the days you know, maybe this day felt similar to how it felt last year, and so just the more you play, the more you can kind of relate those feelings to other experiences here.
Hi again, sorry. I just wanted to follow up something you said before about when you're coming through and you're losing to players that you kind of know or think that you're better than.
Yeah.
Just wondering kind of how frustrating that is, how you kind of process that.
Yeah, it can be frustrating sometimes when you feel like you can't, you know, you're not showing up to execute, especially against people you know, there's those matches that you feel like if you could just get 1 or 2 points that it could definitely go your way and just play a little bit better. But, you know, I think it's definitely better having that feeling than when you finish, than having the feeling like she's just way better than me. So, yeah, I think it's definitely, I prefer that, to have that feeling. It is probably really frustrating, but, you know, sometimes you know, I don't want to be ever put in the position where you just feel like, oh my gosh, she's just way better than me and there's a lot to do. And it has happened, but not too often.
Hi, Coco. Congrats.
Thanks.
What a great tournament for Americans.
Yeah.
Can you share any fun moments or interesting moments you've had with some of the players, or just comment on this surge and great results?
Yeah, I guess I'll start with like Hailey. I've known her since I was like 11, 12 years old. I think we've played doubles once or twice in juniors, and you know, our parents know our friends, and I've known her for forever. So it's great just to see her doing well, and you know, I feel like at the level that she should be, and obviously she will continue to be better. And then Maddie, I've known her for a long time, and I remember I think it was maybe Miami Open. I was shadowing her kind of as a junior. They let me like shadow her, and I sat at one of her Kindness Wins foundation events and things like that. So I don't even know if she remembers that, but yeah. And then obviously Jess, a lot of memories with her playing doubles on the court. So yeah, and that's all I can think of on my half of the draw. I don't know who's on the top half of that's American as well, but it's just awesome to see us all doing well, and kind of all in different stages of our career too, which is very exciting. So yeah, I'm looking forward to whoever I play in the next match, and glad to be representing, and hopefully, you know, a lot of girls can be inspired by us. Oh yeah, I guess the men too. Yeah, Frances, I mean, there's so many with Frances, I guess recently, you know, him giving me crap about my rackets and stuff. So that's the most recent thing. But, and then Tommy, I've known him since I've been on tour, and he's, you know, how he is on court. Very chill, very calm, chill guy. You know, I see him in Florida all the time with his pickup truck. And I guess my funny memory is him like literally doing cardio on the track, like looking like he's dead, and then just seeing him with fishing rods on the back of his truck going to go straight to the ocean to go fish. And I'm like, how are you have energy to be on the water for 6 hours? But he's as country as it gets, I think, when it comes to tennis players that I know.
We'll do 2 last questions right before Matt and
So this isn't actually the question I was going to ask, but on Francis, he was just in here yesterday, and he said he enjoyed finally seeing you after the racket incident and rinsing you for it. I think the words he used was you were shaking out your bag like it was an empty cookie jar.
Yes.
So I'm just curious, like, are you just going to have to take that now and just let him have his moment, or do you still have any more ammunition on him?
Yeah, I honestly didn't. I literally told him, I was like, from you, like, I expected it. From you, it's like, okay. But the fact that it happened to me, because I feel like I'm a professional person, and yeah, usually I am someone, if anybody knows me, I'm someone that can find a comeback real quick. Even if I'm wrong, I'm one of those people that will still defend myself, and I don't like losing arguments. But that one, like, I just had to take it. I just learned that I have nothing to say, especially because I gave him a lot of crap for it. And then not even like 6 months later, I did the same thing on an even bigger stage. So yeah, but I've learned my lesson, and hopefully it won't happen again.
And just in general, this has obviously been a really consistent period for you, two big finals and then here quarters. Just what has kind of helped you to be able to kind of put out such a high level kind of day after day?
Yeah, I think just honestly fighting for each match and each point, because, you know, I've learned in the last two tournaments, especially in Rome and Madrid, losing the opening set in the first round of both of those tournaments and making the final. It just shows that you got to keep fighting for every match and keep fighting for every point because anything can happen in a tournament. So I think if I want to be more consistent on tour, I think that's something I have to continue to do.
So Tamani stole part of my question, but we need a direct response to his saying that Frances describing you as Little Miss Mature.
Okay.
Is that who you are?
I mean, I get that a lot. I definitely for sure feel like I'm sometimes, when I was junior, especially like more mature than maybe some of my peers. I don't know why. I feel like I've always been that. When I was in school, I would always be the first one to class. I remember getting on the yellow for the behavior chart once, and that was like the worst day of my life. And so, yeah, I'm definitely someone that prides myself in being a good example. I think it's because I have two younger brothers, and I feel like I had to be that example. But yeah, I mean, it is true. I'm not going to argue with that. Most people do say I'm mature. And I don't know, I feel like maybe just playing tennis, it forces you to grow up faster for some people, maybe not him, but yeah.